All right, let's fill some time for a second here. Fill in time.
Fill in time.
Wordplay as everyone can mute their TVs with football in the background and turn us up. We don't care if you have football as a second thing. That's fine. I get it, but,
Lock
you
in.
know,
Lock in.
you know,
What
turn up
is
the
that?
volume.
What is that fanatic behind you?
I was just sitting on the couch and I was like, I may as well do something to, freshen up the shot. I do not, so many people have like the super cool backgrounds and all that. And I
No.
obviously
A
do
lot of
nothing for that.
comments.
So, yeah.
A lot
Yeah.
of comments
So
on my
I
background
saw it
yesterday.
sitting there. Yeah, I'm sure. I saw it sitting there. I was like, you know what? Here you go, everybody. Little fanatic. It's adorable,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
So I got our first game. How about that?
Wow. Oh,
Against the
very nice.
Mets. Who's coming to town? The Mets. All right,
All of a sudden nervous. All
it's
of a
enough.
sudden nervous.
No, it's enough time filled. Let's roll. Yo, it is another edition of the IUPS podcast, sponsored by Miller Lite, official partner of the Philadelphia Phillies. Tastes like Miller time, Philadelphia. Celebrate responsibly. Look, it's so frustrating because we haven't recorded, for during the weeks, the Eagles schedule and, work and all that got in the way and all that. And, it's a bummer we didn't record after that Mariners series because, one of the better series wins of the season, gutty, tough. I know they got blown out in the
Brewer
second game,
series.
but
The Brewer
excuse
series.
me, Brewers. I don't know why I said Mariners. I'm sorry. I was thinking back to the Wheeler thing. The Brewers series, similar colors. Sorry. I just saw the Mariners 118-2 today. So I was like, okay. Anyway, I'm all over the place because Trea
Yep.
Turner, it should have been a fun one. Even today, they fought, it sucked, but they went down 4-0 and they battled and, they had a chance to win at the end. They even, made it a 1-run game there at the end and really had a shot and all that. Like, it felt like a really nice stretch of baseball that they've played. And I was excited to talk about it. And then, now it's like, oh, let's talk about Trea Turner and his hamstring, and that freaking blows. And look, I will just say at the very top, Jack, and I wanted to also be able to do a whole look at us, Mr. CNN, Jack Fritz, welcome, and Philly Karen. Now we're all having a bad weekend. She cursed us, but we'll get into all that. But just and caveat, we don't know what the prognosis is for Turner. Maybe it isn't that bad. Maybe it was very precautionary and he'll be okay in a weekend, whatever. But we all know, he missed 6 weeks and was never kind of the same a couple years ago and all that. And he's just been playing so good and so locked in. It's just, it's a very concerning day, Jack.
Just when you thought that they couldn't make a post-game Sunday podcast any worse.
I know, man. I know. And especially, I even said to Emily, last night, I'm like, it feels like the Phillies are really coming together at the right time for the first time ever. And it's like, okay.
No, yeah, not at all. What a damper. I mean, what a damper on what is a team that, for they just have been taking care of business in a mostly professional sense. There's little things that I actually do want to get into because they're incredibly frustrating, but in the overall scheme of things, they're just playing damn good baseball. The pitchers are pitching. The bullpen is stepping up and doing its job, and the hitters are just doing enough. And the Marlins aren't great. I can't believe that team took 3 or 4 from the Mets. I mean, that is pretty ridiculous. That team stinks. I mean, they're bad for Marlins levels. I mean, for Marlins levels, they don't have one guy I'm afraid of.
They got some guys who are sneaky better than you think, like Ramirez and Marcy and stuff. But I agree with you; they are a horrendous team.
Well, and that Sanoa kid, he just kills the Phillies for no reason. He's got big hits for no. He's a new Miguel Rojas.
There was that stat going around after the Harper homer yesterday, where it was that Bryce Harper had more home runs in Lone Depot Park than anyone on the Marlins roster. It's like, are you kidding me? Really?
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. So, but yeah, it's just and even today, I would love to say, hey, whatever. There was Sunday getaway. Taiwan got shelled early, and then locked in. And they fought back and they made it a legit game again. But holy cow, the Trea thing. I mean, I don't feel the same way that I felt about the Wheeler injury, where the Wheeler injury, all of a sudden it was, burn the boats. That's the one spot that they can kind of survive in. And I understand the caveat of it could be nothing. It could be 2 weeks. It could be 6 weeks. And if it's 6 weeks, it's the NLCS. I think I just have a lot of fear from last year where he was cooking. Then he had a hamstring injury, and his season, he stopped running. He really just was not close to being the same player. Started chasing a lot of the plate, and like that's where my fear. I'm not trying to fear monger. We would never fear monger on this show, but like, but that's where my fear comes in. Is that we're having a guy who's going to finish top 5 in NL MVP voting, could finish even higher. He's having a 6+ win season, doing great defensively. Had a 4-hit game the other day, hit a home run in this one, and pulls himself out immediately. And like I've seen so many athletes know their body better than anyone else, and immediately took himself out. And it does raise a red flag about Saturday, where he did not play, and they said it was because of the. I mean, what are they talking about with the hard turf? Oh, the hard turf at Globe Life, where
yeah, what is this, like the football players at MetLife Stadium? Like, what are we doing here?
Do they know what the vet was like? They played on concrete, so they had to get Trea off the turf. That feels like a lie at this point. Clearly, they were worried about something. But
yeah, and if you're gonna do it, then commit and don't have him play today. You know what I mean? Like if it's a real thing where you're gonna hold him on Saturday, why not wait one more day? If you really have this weird thing with this turf there, right? Am I like then commit to it? Like it seems like they even half-assed that, right?
I don't. If he was showing signs of being hurt, there's no reason to put him out there. There's no reason. And the fact that Trea again immediately took himself out. If it's a week or two, and it's a minor
It'd be
strain,
a miracle.
And I don't really buy the thing that comes out immediately, because you have no idea how they're going to wake up and feel the next day.
100%.
And it was interesting because
runners like you know that. Runners like you know that.
100%. And like last year was the same way, where he rounded home and scored, and then all of a sudden
I was at that game.
Today was just like that. Today was just like that, where he's like, nope, that's it. Man, that sucks. It totally sucks. And so I mean, God bless him. I think he could step up and be a good complimentary piece. But oh my goodness, if they don't have Trea Turner, listen, they'll make the playoffs. That's not the issue. Even if he comes back, I hope that he's close to the player that he was so far this year. It's a total gut punch.
Yeah, I think you could argue he's the player they least could afford to lose heading into the playoffs. Like, obviously, I think it's him, Turner, Harper, Schwarber, and Sanchez right now. Probably their 4 most important, most necessary guys heading into the playoffs. And man, and to your point, like, look, again, to not fearmonger, CNN Jack would never do such a thing. You're a newsman, you're a journalist, so they go to you when the hard hitting stuff happens, and we'll get to it. Don't worry, we will get to it.
We don't have to.
We'll get to it, Jackie Baseball, Fritz. But we don't have to. That's funny. Especially I think you just hit on the key thing where it's like, yes, do I think Trea Turner will play in the playoffs for the Phillies? I do. I think that it's likely. But we just know we've seen this so many times with so many of these players, especially speed guys with hamstrings, where it's just they're afraid to push it. They don't kind of run at the same level. He's been so dynamic on the base paths this year as stealing bases, as causing problems going first to third, second to home, first to home, all that stuff. And obviously he's been such a massive upgrade defensively for what he showed us last year, the last 2 years, this year, that and that's obviously something that, if you've got a hamstring, it's another thing it hampers you in. And it's just, and then that's not even talking about, kind of how locked in he's been at the plate from a contact perspective and being able to put the ball in play, 2 strikes, put the ball in play, all that stuff. Like, timing's off, the whole thing. It's just, look, again, to Jack's point before, it might be fine. It might be something where it's a week or 2 and he took him out because he's had this before and he felt the littlest of tweaks and was like, I'm not messing around at all. I'm going right to the table. I'm letting him work on this and letting him, warm it up, whatever needs to be done in that situation. Like, it's possible. But these hamstrings, these soft tissue stuff, like they're just scary, and more often than not, they're the kind of thing that lingers.
Yeah, I mean, it could have cost him a batting title. I mean, if we're talking about just Trea individually, I mean, from the standpoint of he was on his way, It is kind of shocking that like barely over 300 is enough to win a
Oh,
batting
it's
title.
dude. I think about it all the time. I think about with OPS too. Like Trey's, we're talking about him as like a top 5 MVP guy, and I think probably like top 3 or 4. Honestly, like yeah, I think there's a case to me, and I would still watching it every day put Schwarber ahead of him. But there's a case to be made. He deserves it over Schwarber, with the defense and all that. But it's like his OPS is like barely over 800. Like, and he's having a great year. Like I watch him every night. I'm like, I love having this guy on my team, but his OPS is barely over 8. It's like, this is a guy who's had like a 930 OPS before. You know what I mean? It's so weird. It's really strange how we've had to adjust our understanding of what is good when it comes to those type of numbers.
And people haven't complained about the contract in so long. They haven't brought up that he's making $300 million. Do I have to just say Jalen's elite or something to turn this?
You think it's your fault for just
like
bad karma out there?
Yeah, it's like just keep punching him while he's down. Just keep firing. Just keep taking them down.
I was saying to Tucker as we were waiting for you to record that I don't think you appreciated my well, at least you have the Eagles text.
No, I don't care. I really don't. I don't,
know, man. I know. Really, and look, when it comes to this, it's like there's nothing that anyone can say that can, spin this in a good direction. Again, all we can do is hope that he's, okay and gets back and has time to get in rhythm or is in rhythm or whatever. But this one, there's no spinning. There, like you said, with the Wheeler thing, you could do the burn the boats and the rally and stuff. Like they can't afford to lose this guy.
They're not
They can't.
Even with them, they're not good enough offensively.
Yeah, exactly. We've talked so much about those top 3 and how much weight is on them, as for a team. Like they have to be great, and if you don't have one of the 3, I mean that hinders their ability to be great. I'd say.
Well, and think about the lineup, James. Think about the lineup. You're putting Schwarber back at leadoff. Feel like that's what you're going to do. Who's batting 2? Who is batting 2? Is there
Bohm, right? I mean, as disastrous as that is it Alec Bohm? I mean, that's what I'm only saying that because that's what they did yesterday. I'm just trying to guess. They had him batting 2 yesterday.
I'm not ripping you.
Preach.
I can't believe we're here. Alec Bohm is he's hitting 2. He's gonna hit 2. He's gonna hit 2. Like I would put Bader there, whatever. But who cares? Just try to get your best players at the top. If Harper won't hit 2, then put Bader at 2. I don't know. Put JT at 2. I don't know. I just even if he misses 2 weeks, even if he misses the lineup is all of a sudden, while it was already not. I mean, do you just put? But even if you put Stott at leadoff, it's still what? Then you go 3 straight lefties, so it doesn't help that much anyway. They're gonna have to put someone batting second, and it's probably gonna be Bohm. And you want to talk about nightmare fuel? It's Alec Bohm having the second most at bats in a game.
Sounds horrible.
It sounds miserable.
And that he's gonna, no matter where he's in the lineup, it's gonna happen. But in the 2 spot, every big spot's gonna find him. It just will. And we know how that's gonna go. I mean, like it's one of those pods. It was like after the Wheeler thing, and granted that was like a little more heavy because of the blood clot part of it, and the is this guy gonna be okay? And we didn't know anything about prognosis and stuff. This is just a bummer. Like again, to your point, I don't really know what else to say. There's a bunch of stuff that's happened, and we'll get into some of the little stuff, but it just feels like it's all like hanging in the balance a little bit, where it's it's hard to really make proclamations about anything when we don't know how long he's going to be out. How it sucks. It's just a tenuous spot to be.
He's going to miss a week. That's
I love this. This is great. This is well done. It's good. I'm in on it.
Thank you.
That's good. It's great. So the Phils, huh?
Well, that's the thing. It's like I was so happy.
Me too, dude. I've been so happy with them. I really have.
Because that was such a look ahead spot. That was a trap series. You're going down,
especially Friday. I was shocked with how they played on Friday. I was shocked.
But it showed the DNA of the team. Like I think that you're starting to learn more and more about them, and you feel like they're in such a good spot, and you feel like they really have a chance. And they could have gone down there and just not shown up, knowing that they just won a series out in Milwaukee against a very good baseball team. And I have some more thoughts on the Brewers later. Like that's a damn good baseball team. Mm-hmm. And the Mets are coming to town this week, where all they're thinking about is revenge. And they went down there, and it wasn't perfect. I was going to say it for the take back, but whatever. Like, there was some bad baseball this week. I mean, overall, just bad baseball. I mean, I think JT had his like lowest IQ week as a Philly. It was
Oh, I know. From
unbelievable.
the pickoff on.
He got thrown out at first base, rounding the base. He threw a million balls into center field. I was, for a guy who I regard as maybe their smartest player, I thought he had a poor week. Stott not getting the bunt down the ninth is infuriating. Like, just he's a smart baseball player, and Bryson Stott's been great. And like that's the thing where all these guys have been really really good. It's just for some reason they never really seem to play smart baseball. Even Bader's had some bad throws. I mean, Taiwan not covering the mound today in the first inning. I was ready to yank.
Unbelievable.
They're covering the
Unbelievable.
behind home plate. I was ready to yank him there. Now, obviously, I'm mostly joking, but I was so mad at Taiwan. They left a million runners on base. Like, against a better team, who knows how that goes. They did some bad baseball against the Brewers and were able to overcome it. But those little things they gotta really hone in on, especially in this series against the Mets. And what's so frustrating is like the Mets have played bad since the Phillies played them.
I
mean,
know. I
just
know.
bad.
They lost the series to the Marlins. They lost the series to the Nationals. They lost the series to the Reds. Like they just. I mean, again, the Phillies are what 7 games up still. I believe. Like, and
Right.
it's just because the Mets have like. If the Phillies played good, the Mets have played even worse.
Yeah, and I feel like when they start to feel like they need to show out, that's when they start playing not crisp baseball. They played well. They're winning series, but still there's that little bit of it's, I think locked in's the wrong word because they're winning games, but just heads up baseball that I think has been missing, that I think would really take them to another level as a team. Just little things that I think in bigger series would come back to bite them.
Yeah, and look, who knows when Trey will be back, but those are the type of things they're going to have to do to make up for Trey being out or make up for a diminished Trey if he is diminished when he comes back and all that type of stuff. Like this team, to the point we made, especially once you lose Wheeler and with how the lineup is situated in terms of depth and the fact that we've already talked about, you're going to need a Stott or a Bader or a Kepler, one of these guys to have real moments in the postseason to win. Like there's just so little margin for error with this team heading into the playoffs in a playoff series. And look at baseball in general, that's the way it is. We know these games are going to be tight in the playoffs. There's going to be a lot of close games. It's going to come down to a few things here and there. And when you're doing dumb things like you can't execute a rundown from first to second, or you're overrunning first base and then getting thrown out by the third baseman, or whatever these situations are, like those are the kind of things that literally can cost you a series in the grand scheme of things. And especially when there are multiple of them. So I'm with you. Like they can't afford as a team to be making these types of mistakes,
Well, and the postseason, it affects Uncle Mo as well. Because you know what?
No doubt. It's true.
That
It's real.
that lets a team back in it. And when you're facing the Marlins, who with James, you and I watch a lot of baseball. After the
I didn't know a lot of the lineup. I didn't know a lot of them. Like I said, Marcy and Ramirez and like Edwards. Like I don't really know many other guys. Like
I know Otto Lopez, 100%.
Otto Lopez, yeah, but like it's really pitchers bringing guys out of PAM. Like nope.
I know. Even like some of the guys that I banked on, like Bednar, or not Bednar, Bender. Like Bender, my boy, who eventually will be a Philly at one time. I hope so. Like even the guys I'm used to, I wasn't used to any of those guys. They didn't even give me Connor Norby. So against a bad team, okay, it's fine. And they won the series, and maybe they weren't totally fully locked in today. Felt like a getaway day effort early,
and they still battled again.
Yes.
They still I was right. If it weren't for Trey, this would be a really positive podcast. 100%. Like I don't care that much about today. They're still 4 up on the Dodgers. I mean, imagine being a Dodgers pod after yesterday and having your pitcher throw 8 2/3 no hit, and you're up 3-0 in the bottom of the ninth, and you lose a game. Like first time in baseball history that's happened. Like, I mean, Dodgers have been horrible for a while. Dodgers are in danger of losing the division of the Padres. Like there's all,
and the Padres haven't been good either, by the way.
Exactly. Padres haven't taken it. They could have. The Phillies have been one of the 3 or 4 best teams in baseball since the All-Star break. They have the second best record in baseball. They're 4 games up on the Dodgers or the NL West team right now. Like they are like in a great spot. And I do feel like they're playing the best baseball they have on this run at this specific time of the year. It's just the trade thing. Like I don't know what else to say. Like I feel, they're going to have to correct those mistakes. They're going to have to, be a little more consistent offensively. But look, the platoon's been working. I appreciate that he's been doing it, especially in Miami, where we know Castellanos has family and all that. He stuck to it. It worked with the 3-homer game, obviously. Bader's been so much fun. The bullpen's been better. I Luzardo, was solid, looked good. The Rangers been amazing since they've needed him. The team has stepped up since the Mets thing. It's just Trey. Like,
I know. So Rob Thompson's talking right now, and he said that Trey felt a grab in his right hamstring.
I felt a grab in my groin area when that happens. That's great.
How does that make you feel? A grab.
Pained.
Yeah. I don't know. I just don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. Look, that's the thing is like, let's, I honestly feel like, so hold on, we'll get to the take back in a second. I don't have much more baseball stuff to say. Let's quickly, I know you said we didn't have to, but like, and you don't have to talk too much about the CNN thing. That's just funny. But like, and there's not much to say about it, but like, I feel like we can't do the pod and not like mention the Philly Karen thing for real. So, you were on CNN about it. Your thoughts,
the expert,
Mr. Exactly, Mr. Expert on the situation, the perfect person. They said, who can we have come on to talk about Phillies Karen? I'm like, we got it, Fritzy.
We found the guy. You know what's so funny? Is that I just didn't think it was like something.
I know. Well, that's what the funny thing is. When you told us that you were going to be on CNN, I was like, of all people, like the person who would care the least about this, like Elliot would be better on it, minus the Phillies part. You know what I mean? It's something like, it's just so funny. I was like, okay, sure. Bring Jack on for this.
Yeah. Well, I was like, I saw it and then I was like, oh, well,
yeah,
she's not great.
It's like, well, she sucks. Happy they boot her out of the building. That's that.
And then, like, obviously, Ava was like, "Hey, do you want to go on CNN to talk about it?"
Yeah, well, she became the main character in the country. And it went from Twitter. It wasn't just the main character on Twitter. She was like news shows, this, that. It was like, all right, it's crazy.
Seemed like a slow news weekend around the. If I was a news person, it seems like a slow news weekend.
She's the worst. Like, and not knowing her personally or whatever, but like, she had a horrible moment. In that moment, if I am judging her on that moment, like, what a horrible person. But like, who knows who she's really like? And it's just the kind of thing where it's like, all right, like, we're good. Yeah. I thought the crazier thing was how it was all Phillies fans out there.
Oh yeah,
like, I know it usually is, but it was nuts. It was literally that area it was all Phillies fans.
Dude, the announced crowd today was 30,000 in that ballpark.
Exactly.
30,000. Well, for a lie, but still, like, they had 30,000 had to pay, I guess.
Which means I bet you most are Phillies fans. I agree with you for sure.
But yeah, so Ava said, "Hey, do you want to go on CNN and talk about the Philly Karen thing?" And like,
you can't say no. Like, it'd be weird to say no.
Of course not. But like, just like inside me, I'm pretty busy. I'm like, like the kids are like screaming their heads off. So I pretty much checked out on like what the reaction was. So I had to do a quick deep dive into like, okay,
be informed.
So she went over and she was also yelling at the kid, and it was a real like before a test. I was scrambling.
Cramming, sure.
Yeah. And then she asked me like, "Oh, what's her deal? And I'm like, I have no idea. What are you talking about? No one even knows who she is. What
just because we're both Phillies fans doesn't mean that I can identify with her in any other way. Like, what are we doing here?
So it was definitely cool. What's funny is that when we do this show, I could see your face. When I was on there,
yeah. It was just like a camera shooting, and you hear them in your ear, right? Yeah, we
couldn't see her. I couldn't see her. And the other thing that was annoying was that I have long been so annoyed at the little delay on like ESPN or when they have a guest on, there's that awkward. I was right on top of
Look
whatever
at
she was saying,
you.
and going back and watching it,
There was a delay, right?
there was a delay.
Of course.
It was infuriating.
It's like, well, Jack, what do you think about this? It's like, well, Christy, let me tell you. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing is that I couldn't tell because I'm pretty confident in my connection here at my house, but also
Oh, yeah, we've had moments. Yeah.
I was on a show on Friday where I lost connection in the middle of it, and like I was talking at the beginning, but I couldn't see her face, so she was like talking over
Oh,
me, and
that's
I was like,
annoying.
"Wait, did I drop?" So, but yeah, I don't know. Overall, it was a very, very it was a cool experience. I didn't really know what to say about the I didn't think it was that big of a deal, but
I thought you
on to
did
the next
great. Honestly, I really did. I thought you looked great. You judged up a little bit, looking good. I thought it was great, man. And look, there is nothing to say. You represented Philly well. I liked your. I hope this doesn't stick to us like snowballs and Santa Claus line. That was
So,
strong.
so people took that as like people took that way. It was a joking comment. It wasn't
Yeah,
like
and also
serious.
you're saying it like being like that's dumb. I hope this isn't dumb. Also, like, what are we talking about?
Thank you, thank you. I just want
Yeah,
to clear that up. I just want to clear
yeah,
that up when we're
yeah.
talking
Well,
about what I said on that news network.
yeah. So let's get it together, people. All right, let's take back.
So it's not totally in take back, but I have to talk
Yeah.
about it.
Whatever else you want to get into,
Thank
sure.
you. I understand that it was a game against the Marlins in September. I just feel like he's back to just giving away at bats, and like would have loved Bryce stepping up in that moment. Like
Uh-huh.
I if we're doing full trust tree, like feeling about Bryce, and I come on this podcast, I talk to you, we have our community because we're about honesty and how we currently feel at the current time,
Mm-hmm.
and I just I just feel like he doesn't come through late in games anymore. And I'm more excited when someone gets out in front of him so that he doesn't have to come up in a big spot rather than get Bryce to the plate. And it's just such a hazard swing there at the end against a guy who's all over the place. And he I know he's not just going through the motions, and I don't believe that, but and like he's still a really good player. It's just I hope that when the postseason starts again, that he gets back to being a truly great player. Because right now, he's a really good to great player, but it's just the elite status with Bryce and being one of the 15 best players in baseball. Maybe it's just for how long he's been in it and he's 32, 33, getting a little bit older, and this is what we have to do we have to readjust our expectations for Bryce? Because I feel like I have to readjust my expectations for him because he's closer to being like 25 to 35 in the game. Like, for example, ESPN they ranked all the cores in baseball. And they had the elite category of the Phillies, and it was Trey, it was Chris Sanchez, and it was Duran. It was those three. And then Bryce was in the very good category. And I don't know if this is like we have to just readjust our expectations and like hopefully he's just a postseason riser and it won't matter. But that little thing just against a terrible team, against the pitchers all over the place, to just ground out weakly on a splitter away was so crushing. And Schwarber had the hit, and that was good. But like him and Schwarber, the last week, I mean, out in Milwaukee, it felt like every big moment late they weren't coming through. Schwarber's in a power outage. he needs to hit number 50 just to get it out of the way. I think he's like super
I
pressing for number
totally agree
50.
with you on that. Totally agree.
By the way, he's going to be the second Philly to ever hit 50 home runs in a
It's
season, which is
crazy. It's crazy. Schmidt had 48. Tommy was up there. That's crazy, man.
it's crazy. Like he's, but I think he needs to hit number 50 so that
And just
he can
get
kind
over
of,
it. I agree.
so he can
Remember when
kind of,
Judge got to 62, it took him forever to get that 62nd
yeah.
because he was yep.
So all right, so the elite was Trea Turner, Zach Wheeler, and Christopher Sanchez.
Mm-hmm.
The plus players were Harper and Duran. I would put Duran in elite category, and I think Bryce as a plus player is fine. But I just, am I overreacting, or is this? Do we really have to just readjust our expectations for the 32 to 33-year-old version of Bryce Harper?
Well, I think it's a little bit of both, and I think it's also still an unknown. Like I do think that look, he is 33, and I think that we've seen this year that he has had stretches where he's really turned it on and stretches where he isn't. I think that maybe some of the frustration we've seen is him learning that his body and his abilities can't do what they used to do and coming to grips with it, reckoning in it and all that. But I also think that he has been so great in the big moments for this team, even in the playoffs last year. He had that horrible bat that I crushed him for, but like for the most part, he hit in that series.
He did.
I I can't. I would love to see it be consistent throughout. And to your point, I do think that and I don't think it's a crazy thing to say, but losing Turner is a bigger loss than Harper, which is a crazy thing to say. We wouldn't have said that a year ago at this time. And, and you could still argue that because of his playoff performance, you still would rather have Harper and because of what he means and all that. But point being that I think for the regular season, this might be the type of player we get now, a player who I'm hoping is conserving and is not that he shouldn't be locked in every bat, but I'm saying isn't that when he has to lock in and has to really truly bring it in the biggest of moments, like he's got a pretty good track record and he has had
100%.
enough stretches this year and his overall numbers this year are still good enough that I think he can be great for a playoff run. And thus, I'm not ready to say he's this guy, but I do think we have to adjust it. I think the year, like the MVP or close to it type Harper, that guy's gone. Yes, I think.
Well, and it's funny because I've kind of felt this way this past week and he's probably going to end the year hitting around 270 with 30 home runs. And again, that's not a bad player at all. I mean, that's with missing the time he missed and dealing with the wrist injury. It's just there was a time where I couldn't wait for Bryce to get up because it felt like, here we go. Like, don't let Bryce get to the plate because he's going to get a big hit. And it just feels like it's been a while since late in the game and Bryce is up that he has been that guy. So he has his moments early in games, like he had the home run yesterday. That was good. He had the hit with the bases loaded against the Mets. Good. But again, like this is someone who late in games used to be a killer.
A hero. Yeah, exactly.
Used to be a killer. And, I just hope that Superman hasn't lost his cape.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think it's fair.
So again,
go ahead. Yeah.
Like I know that sounds like super overly negative, but there's nothing more than I want in the world than for Bryce Harper to win a World Series. So like I think he deserves it. I think he's been a great Philly, and I think he's going to go down as one of the 5 best to ever wear the uniform. And it's really just 5 best offensive players to wear the uniform. But it's really just is this an open conversation, an honest conversation about where we're at with Bryce, because it's been a little while since we've had that late in games big moment. Here comes 3 coming through in a big spot. So that was just a little frustrating spot to end the game that way.
Yeah, no, I feel you. Update, Trea Turner spoke a little bit ago. He said MRI tomorrow. He said hopefully it's not as bad as last year and can come back as quick as he can for a postseason push. So we'll see what happens. All right, let's get to the team bag.
Horrible, by the way.
Well, it's hard to know.
Hard to know. but definitely does not sound as the
Yeah,
positive. Like, I'm fine.
none of this is good. None of this, what do you expect? None of this is good.
I'm hoping that I'm ready for a
Yeah,
postseason
it is what it
push.
is. It is what it is. Like, yes. Like, what
God.
do you expect? You weren't expecting to be like, it feels great. Like, the.
So I wrote this take bag take
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm sure.
after Nola's last start, and I have to put it out there because I think we'll probably be doing this podcast for the next 16 years, right? You think?
Oh yeah, of course, at
Yeah,
least.
I would hope so. I'm already annoyed at Walker and Sutton. And the reason why I'm already annoyed at both of them is I just envision, obviously they're sicko baseball fans like me, and they're gonna, get into the Phillies, and they're one day, and I want people listening now to be listening 16 to 18 years from now. One day they're going to come to me and they're going to say, "Dad, how good was Aaron Nola?" Because they're going to
Look at you.
they're
Yes,
going to,
they're gonna see the all-time numbers.
yep, they're going to see him being top five in like almost every pitching category in the franchise
Yep,
history. I
literally.
mean,
Yeah.
talk to me about Aaron Nola,
I mean, he's
and I
gonna
would
be
say,
second in strikeouts like soon, like a couple starts or whatever it is. It's nuts.
and I'll say, no,
He'll say
absolutely not.
he was pretty good.
He was mostly excruciating, but I appreciate the longevity that
Yeah.
Aaron Nola showed.
He
Oh
was
my good.
he was a mostly winning player.
Mostly winning. He compiled a
Yeah.
lot of innings, but do not
Yeah,
fool yourself.
go ask a Satner to explain it. I don't feel like it.
Fool yourself into thinking that he's good, and you'll be sadly mistaken. I had a Trey thing in here. I have a lot of minor league thoughts that I will
Oh,
eventually get
great. Yeah, I can't wait for those today. That's what I want.
to. I think Marsh and Bader really do feed off each other well. Like if we're doing the positive portion of this podcast, albeit the Trey news, like I think Marsh and Bader have fed off of each other's energy. I think Marsh has actually been begging for someone like Bader to maybe get an even better version out of himself.
Sure, I can
I
see that.
know that him and Bohm have the friendship connection, but Bohm is about as like, well, it's kind of like Eeyore.
Milk toast as it
Yeah,
gets. Yes.
yeah, he's got a little Eeyore vibes to him. And Bader's like so high energy. When Bader had to catch was that Thursday in
Yeah.
Milwaukee,
Yep.
and Marsh
Amazing
is right
with
there.
Duran. Yeah, it was awesome.
Yep, and Marsh is right there. Fired up, going like. I think Marsh needed Bader. I know Marsh talked about how Stubbs kind of saved his season, and shout out to Garrett Stubbs. So happy he's back. I love Stubbs. I
Love
don't
him.
care. I
Love
don't care what
him.
anyone says.
I love him. Full support.
But dude, it hasn't actually been talked about enough what Marsh has done since coming back from the IL. I
He's
mean,
been amazing.
he's hitting over 300. He's getting hits off lefties. I mean, arguably like their fourth best player. Him and Bader like in competition for their fourth best player. He's playing every single day. In left field, he's a Gold Glover. In center field, he's fine. But the Bader Marsh center field, left field, and just how those kind of guys are, it really feels like they're getting the best out of each other. And the Trey thing is such a freaking bummer because like those two have such World Series type vibes to them right now. And I'm really happy for Marsh. Seems like a great dude. I'm glad he's finally maybe settling into being a productive player for this team. And every day I wake up and I think about how Harrison Bader gets to play baseball for the Phillies today. What a
Yeah,
player!
look at you. I
What a
love
player!
him. I
I
love
love.
him. I love him. He's so much fun. He's fun on your team. He's fun to watch. He's so smooth the way he goes about it. He's got fire. Like I feel like he's gonna come through in big spots. He like even just watching the way he barehands balls off walls and like the angles and where it's like he feels like he's like has like a innate understanding of like geometry and the way it's serious. It's unbelievable. Like it's like he puts his hand up and like it's like over here and like the ball's over there and all of a sudden the ball like takes 3 bounces and lands in his hand. It's amazing. He's really fun to watch. I'm with you, and I think he's exactly the type of guy they need. Which you called a trade deadline prior to it, and it's so true. But and Marsh, look, Marsh's been awesome. I don't know how I'll feel in the playoffs until he does it in the playoffs, but I am confident when he comes to the plate now. Like, it's not even like I'm like not scared. Like, I am confident. I think he's gonna come through. Like, it's the best thing I can say.
I really need Bader and the Phillies to mutually agree that 1
Oh
year,
yeah,
10 million.
yeah. It can't go anywhere.
He has a mutual option, 1 year, 10 million. Those seemingly never get picked up. So 224.
Yeah, well, and also better than letting Dave go out and sign a 1-year deal. Am I right?
Yeah, Bader. What a Duran and Bader. What a trade deadline for Dombrowski.
Finally.
So the Milwaukee series was impressive from the standpoint of like coming back on Monday. I thought Tuesday they showed really good fight. I thought late they gave away some at bats, and then Wednesday was just a pure Stones gritty type effort. I think that Brewers team is not
really
like watching from afar. I've been saying the 2015 Hawks. I still mostly feel 2015 Hawks vibes from them, where it's a bunch of good players but not enough great players. Churio's great. Yelich is a shell of himself. Contreras is a damn good player, but man, they are a relentless baseball team. And when I say like they play college baseball, like what college baseball is like little things.
A bunch of Sal Freliks. That's what college baseball is.
Sal Frelick, by the way, it's gonna be Dante Nori one day. It's gonna be Dante.
It's a good call. I like that. But yeah, it's like I totally get it. And they play great defense, and they have great relief pitching, and they're just they're a team that's like built to they can win in the postseason if they get hits.
Yeah, they're definitely good. Like they are. I left that series. I know the Phillies took 2 or 3, and star power matters. You need stars to win a World Series, and that might be the reason why the Brewers don't. But I do think that this Brewers team is different than the last couple of years Brewers team. I just do. I think that they are a bit different. And I am already so I wonder if they start to split up Schwarber and Harper, just because of like that series was so evident of if you have like I know Schwarber's been great against lefties and Harper's better than league average against lefties, but when you have nasty lefties, it's a different ball game. When you have nasty lefties, it's good luck.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the Turner injury just changes everything, so we don't need to get ahead of ourselves. But I definitely left the Brewers series being impressed. Luzardo was impressed with him yesterday. I thought there was times where he would have folded a little bit earlier in the season, but I think his last 6 starts, he's just figured it out. And whether it's home, road, I think home, I'm starting Luzardo. Road, I'm starting Suarez. But those two stepping up without Wheeler, I mean, post Wheeler, Rangers pitched to a 1.09.
He's been brilliant. Yeah, brilliant.
Yep. So, and Luzardo's been equally as good. And yesterday, like the runs he allowed were bull crap. Like they were so much soft contact. So he did a good job. Strahm is rounding a corner. Strahm's like last 12 outings, I think his ERA is below 0.8. So you need that. You need that. Robertson's also doing a job. David Robertson looks better now than he did in any.
Easily. It's not even close. Like it looks like a different guy. It's amazing.
The Kepler quote yesterday was shocking. But
some shots.
We all had to swallow our pride and
it's like, wait, weren't you the one complaining, big dog? Am I confused? What happened? Yeah, I know.
And Castellanos, to his credit, said something similar today.
Sure.
He said Philly doesn't care about how we do. They just want a world championship, which
damn straight, big dog.
It's our guy, Cassie.
We love him. We have always loved him.
Nightingale today with the whole they're gonna sign.
I know it's a shut up, Bob. I don't even. Can we not even address it? Bob Nightingale. The history of Bob Nightingale and us is
he's been pretty good with the Phillies. With at least
he's been okay, but he's had some big misses.
Well, Trey he called at midseason of 2022.
That's true. And look, it's just can we just like, let's just not go there right now. All right, we got bigger
Yeah.
bigger fish to fry right now. You know, let's just.
So on Schwarber,
Mm-hmm.
I want to resign him, dying to resign him. But like, if it gets to the 4,160,
Yeah, it's a
like
little
is there
crazy. Yeah.
four? I think 4,120. Dude, that's 30 million a year for a 33-year-old DH.
Brother, preach.
And maybe listen, you twist my arm and get me to 130. Okay. It's just when we start getting into the funny numbers for a DH at 33 is where I start to think like team building wise. We sure we want to do this? Like I need Kyle Schwarber to be a Philly. But once we start getting a really above 30 million a year over 4 years is where I do draw back a little bit of, I don't know. Like I would still do it. Ultimately, it's not my money, but it does get a little bit out of hand where it feels like this contract. I mean, there's some talk of only saying that he's hearing like 200 million with like 5
well, that's
years.
crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
I don't know about that. I really don't know about that. We'll be at Screwballs.
I'm with you. I'm with you. So preach.
We'll be at Screwballs on Wednesday.
Hey.
Yeah, in King of Prussia.
I'm at the Screwballs at King of Prussia on Wednesday. That's fun.
Come on, Seltzer.
Yeah,
Phil's Mets. Lock in.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome coming out with us. Phil's Mets, so it's a great game we got. We're going to be in King of Prussia. It's easily accessible for everyone. All kinds of highways lead right there. Like, coming out with us.
Good breakdown at King of Prussia.
I got you, buddy. That's what I do.
Good breakdown.
Screwball's great name of a place. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Coming out. It's going to be awesome. We'll drink some Miller Lights.
And it's a big game.
Yeah, it's a big game. Yes, Jack needs support, like friends around him, to get through this.
3 or 4. 3 or 4.
Yes.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine if they picked 3 or 4 with the reactions around this one?
Oh, buddy.
It's great. All right. So Walker Buehler's velo wasn't great yesterday, but it's okay. They're going 6-man. He's gonna be in the rotation. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, until the games matter, I'm not gonna stress about my guy.
All of a sudden, though, I mean, Nola, you have no idea what you're getting. Taiwan, you have no idea what you're getting, and they're going 6-man rotation. Buehler, you have no idea.
Do we need this right now?
Yeah, we do. We do. And then Gage Wood debuted yesterday. Struck out 5 in 2 innings.
Love it.
Curveball's dope. Fastball's dope.
Love it.
And then
that's the kind of stuff I wanted right there.
If they could just get Gabe Craig into the Phillies bullpen tomorrow, I would feel so much better. That guy is disgusting. I love him.
Trust you.
I very much look forward to him being in the bullpen next year. He's very, very important to me. I love Gabe Craig.
Love it. Great stuff. Never heard of him? I'm in.
Well, you have heard of him because
I'm just kidding. I've heard of him. It was just a funnier joke if I said never heard of him, but not one that comes up that often. Yes.
Kirk strikes. That is the Gabe Craig motto.
Love it. All right. Screwballs, King of Prussia. Seriously, we have so much fun at these. We'll see where we are. We'll be out for the playoffs at the stadium and stuff, I'm sure. But last chance to come hang and watch a game this season, and most likely we'll see what happens. But take advantage of it. King of Prussia is easy for a lot of people. So we're gonna hang. It's gonna be awesome. Miller Lights, trivia, all the good stuff. So that's Wednesday. And we wait, Fritzy. We wait. Let's see what happens with the MRI and how he feels. And it's just, we wait.
We wait.
All right.
Everything will be fine.
We'll be back later in the week. Until then.